proportion from each other. I'm going to sit here and be on my stomach for a bit until my back stretches out. It's been a couple of rough days. So, hi, honey.
Hey.
How are you?
Good.
Good.
So, we're waiting for it to come online so that we can see that it's online. It's not showing yet.
That it's offline?
There we go.
See? So.
Okay, so go ahead and write your comments. It'll be on your right-hand side. And... okay, so what we wanted to talk about today is some of the things that have surprised us about being in the RV. This is our 4th week, and our house is empty. Everything is ready for the renters to come in. And what I have squirreled away after having been doing this for a month, so if you go out to live in an RV, but then you get to come back to your house for a little while, it's like dream shopping, except it doesn't cost any money. And so we went through the whole house, and I was able to pack everything into the RV that I really wanted to.
Nelson Homestead's here. Hey, Nelson.
Hey, guys. And what I found myself packing was food. I don't like how much it costs to eat on the road, even though we're not eating out. Going to the grocery store and getting fresh fruits and vegetables and meat and other things is still somewhat prohibitively expensive. And so I crammed the RV full of dry goods this time. Dry goods. I picked up one more pot. I picked up my spinning wheel. Mm-hmm. What did you put in that was extra? I don't think you put anything extra in.
I already had all mine packed the first time. I did it right.
Hey, Rain.
So, Main Shire Trays. Hi. A Haggler 25. Hi. Finally catch you live. Yes. Are we going through Omaha? We're going to try.
I imagine.
We're going through Colorado. Somewhat to my chagrin. But.
So what we're excited about is the house is empty. We're good to go. We're here for another 10 days because we're needing to close up a few odds and ends, but we'll be living in the RV the whole time, so it's not like we're fibbing about like, hey, we're not really experiencing RV living.
We're just sleeping in living in somebody else's driveway.
Yeah.
So
we're in-laws
right.
for a little bit.
Right.
So I am surprised at how much I've missed the RV. While we've been back and forth in the big house, it has really brought home how much I don't want to be in the house. I hate the amount of space there is. I hate how much the list, sorry honey, how much the list in the back of my head grows and grows and grows and grows.
She's about to get very animated. Go ahead.
I hate how the list in the back of my head grows about what I need to get done, and it makes it very difficult for me to focus in on my husband or my kids when they're talking to me. And so I see that in my opinion, we made the right decision. It doesn't mean that we'll live in an RV for the rest of our lives, but it does mean that as far as like scaling down in a serious way was the right decision.
Main Shire's got to run to the market.
Tabbouleh salad, that sounds good.
Yeah, it does.
Hi Genevieve. Let's see, Tempe, Arizona here. Good deal.
Tempe, hey, we'll
North Carolina.
Might drop by your place as it cools off, kind of out there.
San Francisco.
So
you guys are all over. Okay, so before we forget, there's a lot of people that in these little comments say, hey, we want to host you, but the problem is these comments disappear once the live show is over. These comments do not show up as comments underneath the video. So there's no way for us to go back and find you guys after the show. So if you want to host us when we come through your area, please go to our email and say we want to host. And that's dirtpatcheaven@gmail.com. I have to say the best part of what we're doing is that we get to see you guys. If you all saw the video that I put up this morning of that amazing cabin and garden, that was one of our hosts' fathers. In fact, we didn't even stay overnight at Lisa's. She fed us lunch. We got to get out and stretch our legs a little bit. But really we just had a few minutes to say hi, and it turned into this amazing video and just one of those family experiences that you never forget.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
Rain Country Homestead's commenting on the video right now. So thank you for that. It was super cool, wasn't it? It was nice to see he had those big old grapes right off the vine, and they were so good.
All the food was amazing.
Yeah, it was.
Hi
Bonsai.
The homes. Hey Bonsai. and the home. Did you see the home with the stained glass window and all the tapered wood and everything? I mean, he did it himself, and it was amazing. Yeah. So that is the best part of this for us, aside from the family togetherness. Our internet is turned off. All we have is our 4G on our phones that we use to check emails, and we lose a lot in the mountains. So it's been a huge blessing not to have any internet. No music, no movies, no YouTube. I haven't been able to do any YouTube research. Instead I'm playing jacks with my kids, and we're playing games, and we're doing school, and it has been healing. I didn't really realize how much fun it would be together. It would be to be in that tiny of a space.
It is.
And we have some new ground rules. Our ground rules are that when you speak to somebody, you look them in the eye. If you've said something nasty, you walk to them and you explain to them why you're apologizing. You don't turn around and walk away from people when they're talking. I'm still working on that with John right now because we're moving. And so I have to be moving. He has to be moving. And so that is kind of a not so good thing, is that when we're not in the RV, we really aren't making eye contact.
Okay. A Hagler 25 says that she might see us in for a few nights. Cool. Yeah, go ahead and email us. Bonsai's comment has our Gmail address right below. So just put like host or something in the email, in the subject line, and just email us right there. We'd totally love to come see you guys.
Hey, Yankee.
So...
and by the way,
for posting that.
We will be sending out a newsletter to all of the people who've asked to host us. That way you have an update on a very precise level as far as when we will be there. We're trying to get people information a week ahead of time because we have a hard time nailing it down too far in advance because of weather. But once you've said you want to host us, you'll get the weekly newsletter. You'll get the weekly newsletter that will tell you where we are, so that you know if we're going to be there in the next week.
Robert Allen's asking where we are. So we are at our house right now. I just finished-ish cleaning it out. And so we are turning it over to the renters here. Today, tomorrow, something.
So they might even be here while we're still broadcasting.
So Josh messaged us on Facebook. Yeah, we can't do that. If you have any way to email us, dirtpatcheaven@gmail.com.
It doesn't show up right on the Facebook.
We can't. Yeah, we haven't been able to connect all of because we've had people everywhere. We'd love to, and we would love to see you guys. But the only way that we can get it lined up with our assistant is through email. So.
And so Tangi is helping us. And the reason she's helping us is that when we're in the mountains, we have no signal. We have no way to get a hold of people. And there's so much back and forth and needing to line things up and schedules and everything, that Tangi is our go-to girl that is helping us to keep things put together. So otherwise, everything would be up in the air. Nobody would know when things were happening. Right. And it would be really confusing. So she is in charge of that email. And then what happens is that we look at our little road trippers where she's put in a dot.
Tommy's here. Sorry,
hey,
go
Tommy.
ahead. Go ahead.
And then that's how we know. And then we go and we find that email and we contact you while we're on the road when we're not in a pass to let you know we're coming, to have a good chat, to say thank you. And so just before, like usually about 3 days before we're at your house, that's when we finally call and we're like, okay, we're coming. Right. Is everything okay? Can we still come?
Yeah. Family Roots Farm is asking if we're coming to Vermont. We can always try and make a shot up there, so go ahead and email us. We can't stress that enough. Email us, dirtpatcheaven@gmail.com, and put host or hosting in the subject line.
And just so you know, it's the weather that's determining whether we go somewhere or not. If we're heading south and the weather gets too hot and we're afraid we're going to vapor lock the RV, we'll have to go back north again.
And if it snows in the north, we got to go south.
But we're able to do this. We have the lease signed for 20 months, and so we have 20 months to be able to go back and forth. If this turns out to be really amazing, and we find that we can make our bills doing this, we have 20 months to do it. And what we're really hoping is that we can really showcase the amazing things that you guys are doing out there. Right. And if you have a YouTube channel, we want to help you get it off the ground. Right. And so We're hoping it's a win-win for everybody.
Tommy. So to Tommy. Chicka chow, chicka chow chow. Okay, go ahead.
What is that supposed to mean?
Never mind. Go ahead.
That's
Sharon
naughty
Brown.
music. I'm aware that that's naughty music.
Let's see. Moved out of the city and also living in an RV. Oh, watching the horizon. That's awesome. 2 months now. Tell you what, watching the horizon. What has been a bad thing and what has been a good thing as far as living in an RV?
I need to go see if I can get that to pull up. Watching the horizon.
Right. So let's go back to that.
Sorry.
Anyway, moving on.
Watching the horizon. Remind me later to go look at your channel because we're trying to learn so much from other people who are already doing it.
Yes.
We've made some really good connections. Norp and South, we have a collaboration set up to do with them in Utah on the 10th and 11th. So that will be super fun for those of you who like RVing channels. You probably have seen Norp and South. They have 9 kids in their RV. It's a very different situation than us. We have 2 kids, but we're in a much smaller RV than they are, but they have a lot more kids. So we think that'll be fun.
Hey, Hagler, are we nervous to rent? Yes. There's a lot of emotion connected in this house, and I think that we have a very good family. I'm pretty sure of it. They are wonderful people. Homestead.
I really like
homeschool
her.
their kids and doing a lot of really great things that we agree with, and they wanted to try and learn this lifestyle. So,
the only thing we're nervous about is at this point. The only thing we're really nervous about. We've really covered our bases. At this point, can we afford to eat?
Right.
Can we afford to drive from point A to point B? And we feel like we've really ironed things out for the kids and for ourselves. We're extremely happy right now. You can see we're goofing off more than we usually do. Mm-hmm. A huge weight has come off of us as far as not having the house to take care of, not having the mortgage. Right. At this point, it all really hinges on how many incredible videos we can make because YouTube is our sole income.
Okay. Yep. Got a couple of people who are asking about coming to Canada. I'm going to double check. Somebody said something about our new state driver's licenses here in Idaho being something like a passport. And so I've got to go in and check up on that. We just haven't had time with moving and paperwork and renters and everything. So we would love to go up there. Beautiful area up there. Love to see Vancouver and
I've been to Canada.
Even over to Alberta.
I was in Montreal in December, and oh my gosh, it was so cold, but it was so beautiful. Oh my gosh, it was so pretty.
What did we do with all of our food storage?
We sold it.
Yes.
And
I was going to say bartered it, but yeah.
No,
same.
we sold it.
Okay.
To somebody that we really care about.
Yes.
We wanted it to all go to one place because it was so enmeshed and integrated, and it covered every single little nook and cranny you could possibly need.
And we had the knowledge of how to use it all as a system.
And so that was really, really emotional for me. When we sold the food storage and it left the house, I was so upset. I'm like, now I will never be able to feed my family. And then I sold the animals, and I'm like, no, I will never be able to feed my family. Yeah. And
she did.
Oh, it was so
exactly
hard.
Yeah.
And I was right. At $30 a day to feed your family as the cheap end, we've spent somewhere between $30 and $60 a day to feed our family. That's
versus about $5, $6 a day when we were here at the homestead.
Yeah.
So.
And that was really ick, but that was because we were buying a lot of our specialty flowers.
Right.
And we had to restock a lot of that because they accidentally went to somebody when they were supposed to stay with us.
Yeah. Maybe next time she'll specify.
I thought I did.
Anyway, Catherine Taylor is currently working on her van right now. She hopes to be on the road soon.
We should meet up.
Yeah, I think that'd be great.
You guys, you don't even know how much fun it is to meet you guys. So if you're in the area, even if you don't want to host us, we love to just come and give hugs and handshakes.
And say hi,
Yeah, we've had some people
with or without cameras.
We didn't stay with them.
Yeah.
We just came in and said hi and gave hugs, and then it turned out they had amazing videos. So we took amazing videos. You cannot even imagine some of the amazing stuff we haven't shown you.
Oh, it has been awesome. So, looked into crop sharing along your trips for food. It's an interesting idea. Thanks, Sharon. Sharon Tree. We'll look for it. She says we'll have the skills. Yeah, we'll definitely be okay. Let's see. Washington State has a passport/driver's license or the passport citizen ID. Not sure whether Idaho has, but it would make sense. Yeah, because it is a neighboring state. Assuredly, Washington has more and more border traffic. Yes. What road is it? Anyway, there is one that is a main corridor between Idaho and Canada up there. So.
Hey, Aardvark.
Aardvark. How good.
Okay, I wanted to talk about what Watching Horizon said. They said the lack of space is noticeable. Good communication is key. And you must give each other room, and the benefit of the doubt must watch the bickering.
Yeah.
And we had to figure that out. The first week we struggled. The second week, the end of the second week, John and I spent the whole night, like, not really crying. The night you saw us in the hotel room, where you saw that the kids were bouncing off the beds and everything, we didn't go to bed that night, John and I.
Pretty much. We
stayed up and we talked about things we were angry about. But more importantly, we talked about things we were scared of. We were both really, really anxious about the decision we had just made for our family.
Right.
And the role that we each took in our family.
Mm-hmm.
And so we stayed up and just talked it out, expressing every single little teeny tiny grudge or anger or anything that we were feeling. And what it really boiled down to was, I love you, honey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really scared.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, I love you, honey.
And yep.
I'm really scared too.
Right? It really was.
So that was really what it came down to. And since then, we have worked really hard as not as protagonists, antagonists, as people that are against each other and like are just trying to burden each other. And instead we looked at each other and we're like, we're both feeling this.
Right? Exactly. So watching the horizon, the other difficult part is because of lack of space, it's hard to save money by buying in bulk. Everything needs to fit in such a small space.
Exactly.
This is true. However, I'm going to add
Tetris. Did you get that? My wife's Tetris skills have been really useful. It's so true. High five. Watching the horizon.
Yes. So
go team. Go team Tetris.
Now, I was thinking about this too, and what we ended up doing was we would just buy everything in bulk. Buy it the biggest, whatever it was, like hand lotion.
Hey,
I remember hand lotion for mine because my hands would dry out while I was at work. I would buy it in bulk, but then I would never get it all used up. So like a third of it got wasted because it would just dry out. And so I think for us, at least, there was a counter side to that might or might not balance out. So, but yeah, having to buy the smallest container of everything does get a little more spendy.
And the thing is that a lot of what we eat is expensive. We can't eat anything with grain, or I can't eat anything with grain. Mm-hmm. But what I usually would do here at home is I would just make 2 meals. One for me and one for the rest of the family because they could eat grains and I couldn't eat grains. And so cooking was a big chore. Now what I've had to do is instead of cooking 2 meals, I just have to buy enough of these specialty flours to make enough for everybody. And so where in our budget before, I had been cooking specialty for myself and to some degree the girls, we've gone from cooking that way for one person to cooking that way for 4 people.
Yep.
And it's been amazing because once we got those bulk flours and I started to figure out where to buy them, our cost of groceries went down. Just like, meow. And the place that I really like to get them is Safeway. We went and got a Safeway card. We don't have one here locally, but we ran into them everywhere on the road. And they always had the specialty flours and they had really good deals. Yeah. On paleo fruit bars and stuff like that. The
rest of the Pacific Northwest seems to have them a lot. So, John looks shorter than Mrs. Dirt. Yes.
His back hurts.
Yeah, we're just going to stretch a little bit because I've been moving for 5 days and I'm just like, had it. So I just keep stretching. Let's see. How do you manage cooking with a special diet?
It's so easy. Okay, so first you go to Pinterest and you look up either gluten-free or you look up paleo. And our favorite flours to use are tapioca flour, almond flour, and coconut flour. And to a small degree, you can use the other flours. But those are the 3 I really love. And we made pizza at my sister's that was to die for. We made really Belgian waffles that was so good. It was as good as any waffle you've ever had. And
it was really, really good. The only thing I'll say with almond flour is it feels a little bit heavier than your baking flour. So
I love steaks. I keep almost calling you your name.
Thanks, Aardvark. So
we love both. Thank you for your kindness.
Let's see. Where did we go? Go for Green Living's on. Hi, guys. Let's see.
Are we stepping on Go for Green Living's toes? I thought, aren't we on at 4?
No, he's on here on the grid texting.
Hey. Where?
Yes. So I'm not gonna go up.
Okay.
Shout out, Go for Green. So let's see. Furniture is gone. Yes, that is also why I'm sitting here a little lower.
And it's been fantastic. It's
She
one
took
of the
me
ways.
down a peg.
It's one of the ways that we've been able to do this. So, guys, this is what we did. We sold everything in our house. We're not actually living on our YouTube money per se, as far as like, it's not like we're living paycheck to paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
What we did is we sold everything in our house. We sold all of our vehicles but one.
Mm-hmm.
We sold the animals, and we put ourselves together a savings fund to live on, separate from the YouTube, so that if we get out there and it turns out that it's not working, we could get back. We could get back to family. We could get back to somewhere safe. But we sold everything. Everything. Beds, couches, closets.
Go for Green Living, saying
Hey!
hi. So there you go. Let's see. So yeah, we're doing good, and we'll be good. So let's see. Do a lot of rice flour as a byproduct of horchata. Ooh, that's a good idea.
George, one of our last places that we stayed, the husband was a Social Security attorney.
Yes.
Social Security attorney. And what he told John to do was he needed to file for disability, because that way he won't get approved for it. But that if he shows some kind of marking spot where he applied for it, that then if his back got worse, it would.
Yeah. And I still kind of, it bugs me to do that.
Even though we paid into
it really
Social
bugs
Security.
me to go in and say, yeah, I might have to have this disability, because
We've never done it.
Yeah.
And we don't.
And it's kind of against our MO, is what I'm saying.
We don't really.
I don't really like doing it.
Because he can still walk and he could do other things. This is what we talked to them about, because we're like, we don't really want to apply for Social Security if he's able to do other things. But she said, what happens is that it's like a chess game, and you're setting up your board by going and applying the first time, and you don't have to pursue it after that, but set it up the first time, and and that way, if it became worse and he got to the point where he couldn't do anything,
say I lost everything,
we would have paperwork.
Lost all below the back.
Both
my nerves got
anymore.
pinched off. Yeah, then we'd be okay.
We'd have a spot. Because it's not going to happen.
Right. So Sharon, it was here in Idaho. I'll be kind of vague with the place, but there's an area called the Banana Belt in Idaho, and that's where that farm was from. Like I said, grapes the size of 50-cent pieces. They were just huge, amazing.
How long do you think you'll be on the homesteading trip?
Right now, tentatively, we're thinking about 4 months is what we thought.
We should be back the end of April, because we need to set up the watering system for the renters.
Yep.
And so what we're foreseeing happening is that we'll come back here, we'll build a little small house, and then stay in it long enough to help the renters. If things work out well, we'll just stay. And if we find that we really miss being on the road, we'll go back out on the road and we'll rent out the little house as an Airbnb for extra income.
Yeah.
As kind of, and you guys will see what I mean by that when the video comes up for tomorrow, because I have a video on how to do that, how to use the little tiny houses as an income stream.
Right. Elderberry Creek Farms, what size is the RV? It is a 20-footer, so we're going to cram 4 people in there full time, and thank goodness for the bunk and the curtains. Let's see. Hi guys. Let's see. Lots of howdies. Hi.
Hey, Simply.
Let's see. You have to start a
Bryce.
workman's comp injury claim. Well, Idaho law is a little weird about workman's comp. Anyway, I don't want to go down.
Comp.
Yeah, well, it's not. They won't take it as workman's comp. Anyway, I don't want to talk about my injury that much.
Yeah,
so
we can just move on.
Yeah. So.
Let's see what else. We find.
Hi, Mima.
I did put more clothes in the RV than we originally had. I wish I wasn't, because it did work a lot better when. It's actually easier to boondock than it is to be in an RV park, because once you get into an RV park, you're like, well, I'm paying for it. I should go do a load of laundry. And then all your time at the RV park is eaten up by doing laundry and taking showers. Whereas when you're boondocking, you're just like, well, I'll change my underwear, but I'll wear the same clothes and nobody's going to care.
Yeah.
And so you're not doing laundry all the time. And when I do that, I have more time to edit. I have more time to play with the kids. And so that I don't love being in the RV park. Because I find that I take the easy way instead of, just kind of dealing with it and making it fun. Instead, I cave and I go take the conveniences and I go do laundry and I shower and everything, and it eats up your time.
Rebecca's asking how is keeping the girls entertained. So
it's really good.
After was that week 2
it's
and the hard
amazing.
time, we sat down and we said, okay, here's the schedule. In fact, we made it the night after we had our live broadcast of week 2. Sat the girls down for schedule, and they will do homeschooling and whatever, and mom's working at a certain time, and then everybody is able to keep each other on task.
Yeah.
And on task for the children apparently means entertained as well.
And it means happy.
Yes.
And so what we do is every time we stop at a gas station, the girls run laps. Every time we stop anywhere, the girls run laps. They run laps. If I have a second, I'll go out and play chase with them.
Right.
And when we're in the RV, we're doing school.
Mm-hmm.
And when school's done, they can have some kind of fun game that they do. Like I'm teaching them some card games. But we're trying to have...
I got it. It's all good.
I just don't want you to kick it.
I know.
And tear it out of the wall.
Oh, I'm not that clumsy. Oh, wait.
They do really, really well, especially Paige does really, really well with longer school time because she gets one-on-one attention with me. Kaya's done with school after about an hour and a half. She goes up and talks to Dad, puts her seatbelt on, does her Etch-a-Sketch up with Dad, and I'm in the back with Paige, still doing school, which she thinks she hates, but I know she loves it because I sit there and talk to her.
Yep.
And she and I get some real alone time. And then, so Paige goes anywhere from 4 to 6 hours on school.
So Tommy's mocking us. Cut my showers down to once a month. I have so much extra time and space now. And if you wear the same set of underwear, you can even cut it down further.
That's gross.
So.
I think the longest that we've gone without showers has been, I think, 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
And you can use a spray bottle and wet wipes and everything, so you're not stinky. Right. You're changing your underwear, you're changing your socks, and it's just not a big deal.
By the 4th day, you want to molt. Just rip your skin off, but that's just because I'm not quite used to going 4 days at a stretch.
It's not that bad.
Like a dead rose. Good job.
I don't know. I grew up on a farm, and there's nothing more attractive than a manly smell. That is like my ultimate turn on, is like a manly smell. Not like the perfumey, deodorant-y man, but the man that's been out working hard. And so for me,
as I whistle
the
Old Spice tune myself.
Nothing wrong with smelling like a person.
So, baking soda. Yeah, right? So.
Not like a dead rose. Smelling like a dead rose? Yuck. Carry decaying broccoli. No one will know you haven't showered. Anyway, moving on. So, I do see that we will be having some interesting, interesting things happening.
Things to work on, yes.
We haven't really worked out so far, like, our schedule for uploading videos, and we have found that we want to linger at our host homes as far as, like, visiting. At the beginning we were like,
where we're wearing out our welcome.
No, but as far as like, we have some spots where woofers are so concentrated, or not woofers. We have some spots where our hosts are so concentrated. We have so many of them in an area that really we only have like an hour to go and visit each family. And so we come to one family and we can't leave without spending a couple hours of just visiting and seeing what they're doing. We don't want to leave after an hour.
Right.
And so we have found that if in an area where we have quite a few, we want to stay a few days and be able to see everybody and that kind of thing. We just don't want to feel like wham bam thank you ma'am type of visitors where we're like, you've been waiting for us for a week and here we are and we're only going to stay for an hour.
Right.
And so that is something that it's going to prolong our trip is the thing. It's going to take us a lot more time if we want so hard to get everybody in there. We want to get everybody and see everybody. But it's running our time down.
Cass 89, 19 Cass 89. He goes for week-long trips. Friends go for week-long trips and baby wipes and a bucket of water. Yes, keeps it so that we can go 4 days. That I can go 4 days at a stretch. I'll say baby wipes are very useful and not expensive.
Aardvark says he's not going to let us on his property if those are our standards.
Good.
Oh.
Good save, John. Thank you.
What did you say?
And I'm like, hey, don't take it the wrong way.
What?
So, I don't remember. Oh, us wearing out our welcome versus disappearing.
Oh, so
anyway.
We have, in the newsletter that will be coming, it will also include that we're not asking to stay for more than one night at any host's place. We want to stay for one night. Generally, we're there. We show up about 6 o'clock at night. We stay overnight. We cook ourselves breakfast. We pull out, and it's not a prolonged stay unless, if we've been really special friends and you guys want us to stay, and we already have rapport and everything. That would be different if you invited us. But as far as like what we're expecting, we're not expecting more than an overnight.
Yeah. Okay. So.
I think woofing would be super fun, Sharon. I think that would be awesome. I should look into that. I think that would be really fun.
I might go about 10 minutes before I'm like, okay. Let's see. Keep a floating schedule. Yeah, definitely. We're gonna have to give everybody kind of a tentative schedule. Like, okay, here's the week, and then as the week approaches, then okay, we're looking at maybe these 3 days or somewhere in there. So.
Which is why we're doing the newsletter. Tangi and I came up with that because we felt like it wasn't fair just to send out the letter and be like, okay, this is who we are, and then you not have any kind of update. Because if we get stuck in the mountains and we can't do our live broadcast to let you guys know, oh, by the way, this is the area we're going to be in, there's no way for you to know. And then we pop up at your house in the middle of your daughter's wedding type of thing.
Well, we were the wedding gift. Hey, you got to see us.
Right, Daniel? We're so excited to see you guys, and we're hoping to stay with you longer. And Deep South Homestead, and Doug and Stacy, and Brad, and Kristen.
And Trish, and everybody.
We just want to stay longer at everybody. I don't know how we're going to make it to Florida.
Well, that's what I was thinking. It would be about Christmas time.
Okay, so...
Let's see.
What else was there that we've been thinking about? Okay, so our next leg of the trip will start on the 10th, and we will be in Provo Canyon.
South, yeah.
We'll be in Provo Canyon. So if you're in the Provo area, we will be in that general area. We're going to try and see some tiny houses in the Salt Lake area, and then we believe we're going from Utah to Colorado. Is where we're planning on, again, if it starts to snow.
We're going to go further south.
We'll go south.
So if you guys feel like having us over and just having a handshake and a hi bye, that's cool.
Or if you have something really cool to film, because we are trying to get the word out about some of the amazing things people are doing. Sometimes we feel so isolated, and we've had several people that have absolutely no interest in making videos themselves, but they allowed us to come and film their property because they know that it would be a service to people to see how it was done.
That was this morning's video right there. She had no interest in filming, and she had a wonderful, beautiful area. And she's like, I know this person had it.
Hey, Big Bear.
So we went over there, and it was just amazing.
Yeah, it was. It was gorgeous. And then we had another with Kevin, where he has, you guys will see him. No, you already saw him. Kevin had the conversion van. He has no interest in making videos, but we have like 2 other videos to make of what we saw with him on his property that will blow your mind. They are just
incredible. And so so against filming, I even suggested he just make it for posterity, and he's like, fine. And like he didn't want to video it at all. I'm like, okay, that's fine. We understand. I know that feeling.
So what we're asking is that if you're a host and you know that there's something amazing there local, ask them if we can come film it. Mostly it's been family that has been asking. They're like, hey, my mom does this, or hey, my dad does this, and then we go take the video, and it just turns out rock star awesome. And they're the best kind of, it's the best kind of road trip because it's so up our alley. We're not looking at like sideshows of the world's biggest rubber band ball. We're looking at these amazing hand-built homes and these amazing aquaponic systems and off-grid lifestyles and just amazing ingenuity among our viewers. It's just been amazing.
Yes, absolutely. 104 people watching on a Thursday afternoon. So
How much? What?
We're at 104 people currently. So
I was talking to Brad about that the other day. I'm like, holy cow, our old slot.
Tommy's got
Yeah,
it.
Tommy, you took that and ran with it because
Yeah,
usually
job,
we've never had like much over 100 viewers on our live show. But you guys should make sure and go check out Tommy because he is rocking it. I think he had like 400 viewers, live viewers.
So
Sunday night, on your Sunday night one.
Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern.
And who is after us today? I'm not sure that I know.
Oh, we have an open spot afterwards until.
Is it an open spot?
Until Brad goes up with the tech.
Is that what it is?
I think.
Okay. We feel bad because we don't have anybody on either side of us to like shout out to. But if you are there. Coming back to Washington State at all, we want to so bad. We loved it.
We're trying to get back maybe as the last spot in the spring on the way back.
And go along the coast this time.
Yeah, so for all you guys that we missed, and we know we missed a ton of you, email us dirtpatcheaven@gmail.com. I got to say that over and over, sorry. And put host in the subject line or something with that word. And then we can find you and we'll get all the points plotted.
Hey, Dave.
So, Rebecca, you asked something too. I don't remember what it was. Yes, we're going to try and make it over to you.
Isn't Rebecca in Nevada? Or are you in Arizona,
No,
Rebecca?
I think she's Nevada. Carson City? Shoot, I shouldn't have narrowed it down that far. Anyway, let's see. Saw the video with your mom. I adore her. Yes, she is amazing, isn't she? Let's see.
Okay, let's see.
Next is 8 to 9 with Tech Talk with Big Family Homestead. Okay. Thank you, Simply Circus. So let's see. Super busy, but we'll be in and out. Oh, Minuteman, thanks for stopping by.
Okay, so we've been on for about 45 minutes. What else was it? Oh, okay. So our fridge still doesn't work. How in the world have I packed so much more stuff? Because I went and tripled what is in the RV. And I didn't think I would be able to do that. But what I did is that our fridge doesn't work. So instead of putting like food in it, I took pots and pans and silverware and canned goods and put them in the fridge because that was just empty space that wasn't being used. And I went and got some Rubbermaids that we already had in the house and used them to hold things in. Because when you're on the road, it's nice to be able to pull a box out rather than sorting through everything. Instead, to put related items in the box that then goes in the shelf. Right. The one thing I did take out was I took out a lot of books. I thought we would be reading on the road a lot more than we have been, but we have found this constructive activity has made us a lot happier. Mm-hmm. So instead, we took out a lot of the books and took a lot of weight out that way. I think. What else have I put more? And food. So way more food and a lot fewer books. Mm-hmm. Let's see.
Now that is an awesome ringtone. Thanks, Big Bear. Straight from iPhone. So, he was just saying that was a funny ringer. Let's see. Oh, see below Mount St. Helens right there.
We were there, weren't we there?
Yeah, we were so there. We drove right through Highway 12.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful, beautiful area. Nothing for miles.
Wouldn't that be fun? We should ask Justin Rhodes, but I don't think their bus is ready yet.
Yeah.
The last video I saw of them, they were having somebody gut their bus, but that would be super fun. I bet our kids would have a lot of fun playing. Oh, yeah. And isn't he in British Columbia? Am I thinking he's in the wrong spot?
I don't remember.
Where is Justin at? Is he British Columbia? Hey, Palmetto.
Okay, so Greenlee Acres getting one of those fridges that Walmart sells. You know, we have 2 of those, and yeah, we could totally frame them in, and it just plugs right into the wall back there. Might do it after we get the papers signed and we're out and gone. But
we just haven't had it as a priority.
Yeah.
Because most of what we eat doesn't need to be refrigerated, at least not for very long. Because the weather's cool enough here that it's not it's not a problem.
I'm not going to recommend that anybody does this, but you can buy one of those hot rotisserie chickens, eat it that night, and then eat the leftovers the next day for lunch, and you're still fine.
Okay, I saw you say something, Rebecca, and now I'm lost.
Oh, gotcha. Sorry, Bonsai. I was trying to figure out what was going on. Tommy.
He's in North Carolina, really? I didn't know that. Well, I've talked to him before about doing a collaboration, and he's been too busy. But maybe with him being on the road, he would want to do that now. I don't know. It's like living in a Navy submarine, only so much room, food put everywhere.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Let's see. Sorry.
Pen pals. Okay, so Rebecca was asking about pen pals. Kai and Paige do have pen pals. It all so much falls upon whether or not mom is organized enough to help them remember to do it. But I do have the postcards and the stamps and everything ready to go. And so if you want the girls to, if you have little ones that you'd like to have be pen pals with the girls, go ahead and send us the address and we'll have them paint you a picture.
Email it to dirtpatcheaven@gmail.com.
Uh-huh.
Get tired of saying that. Sorry.
Oh, I can't wait until I can really be part of this community. Why can't you be part of the community, Josh?
Oh, I think he's just getting into it. Is that?
Oh, are you just starting YouTube?
Is that the way I read that? I'm not really sure. So, anyway, let's see. OGN and Big Bear chime in again, and I now understand what I'm supposed to do.
What?
So, they need wrenches. So, go ahead.
Oh.
That's fine.
He's an hour away from you. Have you been up to see him, Minuteman? What we're working on right now as far as like collaborations is we're trying to find a way to get more collaborations with RV families. I love to do videos on what I'm currently
Go ahead. Sorry.
learning. I love to do videos about what I'm currently learning. And what I'm currently learning about right now is how to live in an RV. And so that's the research that I've been doing is I've been watching other RV channels, which means that those are the ones I've been approaching is, hey guys, we're an RV family. We would love to do collaborations with you just to learn from you and to cross-collaborate. And the other thing we've been doing is trying to find the tiny houses, but a lot of times they're off the beaten track in a way that they're very reclusive. And so unless the host family introduces us to them or has one on their property, it doesn't translate well when we try to get a hold of people.
Yeah. Minuteman says no vehicle is running. Okay, we understand that. So.
Why? Oh, that's why you haven't been up to see him?
Okay, gotcha. Tommy! Paging
Aww.
Tommy!
Sharon has a picture from the girls on her fridge.
Yeah. So, let's see. Off-Grid Nation. Bueller. Let's see. Doing our best to homestead
cute,
on a quarter
Danny.
acre. Simply Circus, you know what? Quarter acre is probably about the ideal way for a single family to do that.
What?
I think we wanted no more than a half acre. Well, Julie wanted no more than a half acre.
Yeah, when we got this house, I had been begging John to let me live in a bully barn, and he wasn't at that frame of mind yet. As far as like as a couple being able to live out these dreams, sometimes it's not both spouses' dreams. Right. It was not John's dream; it was my dream.
Right. But in a healthy marriage, okay, it's not important to me. It's super important to you. Go for it. Sort of. So
we bought a 2,300 square foot house and
right.
an acre and a half.
And an acre and a half, yeah. So apparently it was not important to me.
And so now 5 years later when his back is hurt
right.
and we have bills to pay that it would be nice not to have a mortgage, now is the time when he's like, you know what, that original idea that you had, that was a really great idea.
I'm going to say that's not quite fair because I was always willing to pay less and have a smaller mortgage. We just couldn't find anything with any land at all. So, anyway, that's why.
But as far as the tiny house living, I mean.
Well, yeah, with the tiny house, but we couldn't find any land with the money. So that's what I'm saying. So we were buying it in as it was ramping up and going into the peak. Minuteman wants to share links later. Yes, email them to us. Good job. Dirtpatcheaven@gmail.com.
It's not your husband's either. Yeah, there's a thing where you're like, it's not okay to sacrifice the marriage for the dream, right. Because there's such a thing as timing, and as much as I hate the amount of time we've spent here feeling like we're, spinning our wheels, and I do hate that. I really am sad about the last 5 years that we've spent doing this in a space that was too big for us. It would have been nice just to be able to pay off our mortgage instead of doing what we've done. Well, but we weren't in a position at that point, I think, to leave this area. Our roots were very firmly entrenched, and there really wasn't any property here to be had because all the farming spots were being sold for real estate for residential. Mm-hmm. And so now we really, having done this, we really know what to look for now.
Mm-hmm. Rebecca says, seems like being single has its advantages when it comes to homesteading. Yeah.
It's hard to do without a partner because it's lovely to have a dream.
Right.
And to share that dream.
See, and I think that when you're single, all of your decisions are universal and there's no disagreement, so you can do whatever you want. And so as far as the decision making or these are my goals, I want to achieve them, that's all. There's nothing standing in your way. If you have a spouse with their own set of ideas and rules and wants and needs, then you have to find a compromise. So
there is no compromise.
There is only joy.
There's only my way.
Right?
So. I don't know, with the relationship thing on deciding, should we live in an RV? Should we be in the homestead? Should we, sometimes you hit those points where the dream gets in the way of the marriage. And for us, my homesteading got in the way of our marriage. And it was making me miserable. And so instead, switching to John's dream was very healthy for our marriage. His dream was not to live somewhere where there's winter and to really go and play. And if I had put my foot down and said, well, it's either my way or the highway, I would have missed out on this experience and this opportunity to see that my way is not the highway. My way is not the way that everybody should do things. And while what I dream of and what I want is valuable, so is my marriage. And if I insist that I'm the only one who's right, that's a pretty sad way to live.
Definitely. Dolphin Man, I keep losing it. That's what he was asking about hospitalization. Clarify. You mean out on the road? Are we worried about anything? I mean, I'm not sure what you're asking, so go ahead and clarify. Lawnmower got in the way of our marriage.
Because of your fig tree, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was horrible. You looked like you were about to just walk out of your skin. You were so mad.
Let's see. And you can always own your own mobile tiny home. Yes, with a cardboard box and plastic painter sheet over the top. My wife has actually done me really good with my own man cave, and it's the only one that has all the walls painted in here, and it's good. Now I have a bunk, so.
How long did it prepare us to do RV living? About 6 months. We went from the point where we're like, okay, we can't afford our mortgage. What are we going to do? And we kind of looked at it and we said, well, why should we be suffering through this? Instead of being in an RV, this free RV that our neighbor gave us, instead of looking at it as something that is suffering and an imposition, why don't we just go see the people that we are longing? I was feeling so many pangs of loneliness at that time. I was so lonely and I was so in love with my viewers as far as like the support. And I got to the point where I actually really missed people that I had never met. Mm-hmm. I so wanted to see Dandy and Wanda. We so wanted to go see Doug and Stacy and Krista and Brad and Daniel and everybody. We so wanted to go out and see everybody. We felt like they were our family. And we're like, it wouldn't cost, maybe our bills would extend without the mortgage. Maybe it would allow us to do this. And we could just go follow our hearts and go see these people. Right. And that's what happened.
Yeah, and to make sure that we're not calling panic and freaking everybody out. It's not like we couldn't afford the mortgage. It was just not going to be sustainable long term like that. So we had to figure out some other option to make sure that the mortgage still got paid so that we could still keep the homestead and we could go do other things.
But it wasn't an overnight decision. We had talked about selling our house and going and living in a tiny house somewhere. And John had said he absolutely refused to have a tiny house on his parents' property. And I'm like, well, what's our other option?
If we're not with my parents. I'm having a very difficult time if we have to go over there for like 4 days before we head out on the road again.
But he put his foot down. He's like, we're not going to live in an RV at my parents' house. And I'm like, well, if we can't pay for the mortgage, what are we going to do? Yeah. And so that was when we're like, why don't we go live with Trish? She's already offered.
Right.
Why don't we go live with Trish in Florida? And then we're like, why don't we see everybody along the way? Yeah. Why don't we just stop and see everybody?
Right. So Dolphin Man, thank you for the clarification. Go ahead and email Julie and then just put questions in the subject line. So dirtpatcheaven@gmail.com. And yeah,
Big
I'd
Bear.
love to.
We want to come see Big Bear too.
Yeah, definitely. Right.
Not forgetting that.
Anyway, yeah, so it was a lot of work and research to figure out not necessarily whether we can or can't do this, but how do we make this work? Because we needed to start being more determined in our decisions, not just let life kind of happen to us and mow us over.
And in my heart of hearts, I had been feeling for a long time that God wanted us to downsize. Every time I prayed, it was like, God was like, well, why don't you just do it? And I'm like, I can't just do it. That's not responsible. You don't just like up and leave.
Right. Well, we never did anything like this.
No,
this
we never did anything like this.
New.
We were always very, very responsible. And so when it came down to actually doing this, we would never have done it if John hadn't hurt his back. Mm-hmm. Because once he hurt his back, we saw how very small our bills were. Because he wasn't working. I still had YouTube, but it wasn't bringing very much in. And we were fine. We were fine. We weren't on food stamps or any kind of WIC or...
You make that sound past tense. We aren't on food stamps.
We aren't on food stamps. But at the time, he didn't have a job, and I was making hardly anything on YouTube, and yet...
We were fine.
We hardly dipped into our savings at all because we had food storage, and we were already out of debt. Mm-hmm. And so when it came to deciding to go in an RV, we were still out of debt. We still had almost all of our savings, even though he was out of work for 6 months. And so we just had to say, well, we could take our savings and not use it, but we could also sell everything in the house to give us a little more cushion, and we could just go do this because we have no debt, because we have no bills. And we have no bills.
Yeah, and we looked around at all of our stuff, and we're like, why are we killing ourselves to try and maintain crap, this stuff? So.
And they left everything to follow Jesus. I love that from Ramima. And it's what it felt like to me. I felt like I had been losing my family. It felt to me like John and I were not connecting anymore. We weren't.
I'm not sure if he's not saying that tongue in cheek, but yes.
No, Farmer is not a man.
Sorry, she. Sorry,
she's not being facetious.
Okay. Anyway, it's just
funny. But to me, it felt like I needed an answer to my prayers, and it seems ridiculous that God would tell me that we needed to downsize, because I'm like. But this is my selfish dream, this thing that I want to do where I don't have a mortgage and I don't have all these bills and I want to have things be smaller. Isn't that just my own selfish dream? But it kept coming back, no, this is the way to save your family. This is the way to have your kids know that you love them, and that before they get too big to remember, they will have these special times with you. And that's exactly what it's turned into. I've had amazing times with the girls, and things that I felt were broken in our relationship have been healed by this trip.
Jennifer Miano, I'd love to hear her speak even more on our spiritual transition. Well, Julie has a video out called Faith Crisis. It's one of her more personal, but one of her more popular videos. So go ahead and do a search on it under Dirtpatcheaven. And it kind of explains a whole lot. And I've been thinking about doing a part 2 on my channel, but I haven't gotten around to that. So let's see, who else? High-speed internet, Apple.
So red, white, and blue woodshop. Okay, let me read yours because this is something that people think a lot. You have a ton of bills. You have gasoline, oil. You have to pay your insurance. You're not going to make that much off of YouTube. It's a very rough life. It's not glamorous like you think it is. So we've already been doing it for a month. And as far as us thinking it's glamorous, we don't think that it's glamorous, but it's what we want to do for right now. And it's not that we think we won't have bills. It's that because our bills are already minimal, we can afford to do this now. And we're getting such amazing videos. We've been YouTubing for 3 years now, and so we're very familiar with how much we can make by the quality of our videos that we make. And so for a short-term thing, for us to be able to go out and take this moment in life and go live it, we didn't go into debt to get the RV. It didn't cost us anything. John did all the work to fix it himself, so he didn't have to pay anything for that.
A lot of our big costs we knew were going to happen in the first leg, and they did. Yeah,
and we replaced tires, and now we're replacing the rear end seal, and so as far as the things that we anticipated, they have happened, and what we hoped to have happened, and we've been really happy with it. And it's not glamorous, but it's been very joyful. It's been very healing and very joyful, and it's been It's just been really, really neat. And no, it's not glamorous, but it is exactly where we should be right now.
Josh Curtis, let's see, get on with Apple Incorporated. That's probably a really good idea, and we might check it out. We're going to have an interesting time with internet until we get back and figure that out. But thank you for the heads up. I'll make a note of it because I kind of like Apple. So, yep, Mima was being sincere. Okay, I'm sorry. I took it as a punchline. That's my horrible sense of humor that nobody else laughs at. So.
Yeah, I told you. I know what she was saying.
I'm the only one that thinks things are funny, and the rest of the world is offended. It's
a lot of people think that we're being really irresponsible to do this, but we have the renters here. They're paying our mortgage plus some, and that means that the one bill that we had that was tying us down is gone. The only thing that we're working on right now is personal health insurance. That's one thing we're working on, and we're thinking about doing the Christian network. That my sister does it, and she really, really likes it, and so that's one thing that we're definitely looking into, because now it's a requirement. They have health insurance, and we're going to be on the road, so it's good to be smart.
Which I think, because we have mentioned our cash-only doctor before, I need to find out if there's anybody who has one in your neck of the woods, or you know of somebody who might know of one. They're called non-HIPAA compliant / cash-only doctors. And so our guy ends up working, and we pay usually about the price of a copay to go in for an appointment and get our basic needs and everything. And he'll let you know right off the bat if he can't do it. Yeah. So
anyway, that's what we've done before. Even though we had insurance, we do have a doctor that it's a non-insurance doctor, and he charges you by the minute. If you talk a lot, he charges you more than if you don't talk a lot, and he gives you your prescriptions at cost for him. So it's been amazing.
So we'll always judge you for every decision you make in life. That is so true, Jen's little homestead. But it's okay, because I'm just gonna sit back and try not to do that. But it's a very human thing to do, and so we're gonna do our thing, whether people, anyway.
And so we're paying off our mortgage by using renters. Our renters are paying our mortgage. And if we come back, one of the things that we're planning on having happen is for John to get an education while we're on the road through an online course, so that when we get back, he can start to make a living again, and we would not be financially dependent on the YouTube channel. So.
Just true. So, humble homemaker. You'd asked something earlier too. I didn't quite catch it. Sorry, humble homemaker. Same here. Just a mortgage. I feel like it's a big burden. Yeah, we work to pay the mortgage, and are not enjoying God's creation around us. And we kind of started to feel that way too. And then the worry about having to pay the next mortgage payment started to creep up.
But we were paying it double. We were paying double payments a month. We were way ahead, and it's why when John got hurt, it wasn't a big burden. Was because with our bank, when you pay ahead, you can use that credit and not make a house payment. We continued to make a house payment while he was hurt, as we could, but it meant that for 6 months we didn't have to worry about a mortgage payment because we paid it forward.
Yeah. So, do y'all use Dave Ramsey to get out of debt?
Yes.
So, grits and gravy. We did. How did that go? Let's go.
I was raised the way that Dave Ramsey preaches. That's how I was raised. So that's just how I did money when we got married.
And me and my family were always very nervous about debt, but at the same time, they were duplicitous, because they're like, well, you got to establish your credit. You got to get a credit card and get this and that. And so I never had a lot of debt because it always made me a little worried. And then after we got married,
we were both 100% debt-free when we met. And then John went and bought a new car.
Well, no, I had a mortgage already. But,
did you already have the
house?
house?
Yeah, I had the house. And then had a paid-off car when we met, and then bought another one, which was my first mistake. And then we got married, and then I rolled that into another one, and pretty soon we were $15,000 down, plus the mortgage. And so we worked on that hard. And
we paid everything off very, very quickly. And any debt that we got into, we paid off very, very quickly. We didn't. By the time we'd been married for 3 years, all student loans, all car payments, everything was paid off with the exception of the house that we were in. And we weren't making very much. He was making $30,000 a year, and single income. And I was a stay-at-home mom. Every time we had a baby, we paid for the baby with cash. John had a surgery, we paid for it with cash. I had a knee surgery, we paid for it with cash. We never, anytime we had any kind of debt come in, we paid for it within a few months. Even though it was thousands of dollars, those would be times where I would go get a job. When I had a knee surgery and I found out I had a knee surgery coming, I went and got a job. I paid for my knee surgery in 3 months. It was a $6,000 bill. And then as soon as I had the knee surgery paid off, I didn't work anymore. I was a stay-at-home mom. And so that has always been our policy. We've had a little bit of retail debt, but we've never allowed it to grow, I guess.
Let's see. So James Nelson's got to go to work. Hey, enjoy, and don't get
You
caught
traded a
sneak
Buick
watching.
for your wife?
No.
Josh?
No, he got a brand.
What?
We're talking about buying cars. He bought a new Buick for his wife. I was like, hey, that's a good trade. But you're going to take it that way. Let's see.
Have we ever had trouble with the police because you're in an RV? No, we haven't. We go in and we ask permission to stay. If we're boondocking, like in a Walmart or something, we go in and we ask the manager. And that way, if they do have a policy that is unfriendly to RVers, we know and we don't stay.
Family judged me for staying home with my youngest. Yeah. It was like, anyway, everything you could do. But anyway, we're going to move on. What was she trying to search for? I didn't catch that. Non-HIPAA compliant doctors. Okay, watching the horizon. Non-HIPAA compliant doctors, yes. And then there's also cash-only doctors. So what they do is they charge you by the minute and they charge you directly. They don't have to work with an insurance agency who's going to bring their prices down, so they have to compromise and then charge you more, and then you have to pay them, and this money starts getting all tangled up. And it's because there's this other person, this insurance company in there that is a third party that is taking a huge cut of all the medical money you're paying.
And he does house calls too.
Yeah. So he just says, forget the middleman, they're not involved with this. I'll work directly with the patient, and this is what I charge.
John's YouTube channel is Mr. Dirt.
Yep, under Mr. Dirt.
Dirt.
Yep, so you'll see it has a cook stove in the little avatar. I'll also be commenting from time to time on Tommy's or Brad's shows or wherever I can.
We will be getting rid of our cars on payments, just difficult when we rolled negative equity. We did that. And it was the biggest retail debt that we had. We went and purchased. I was a big environmentalist, and I didn't like the truck that John already had. And so instead of, I was stuck in that loop of, well, if it's not gas efficient, you shouldn't own it. It's better to, and so.
Which was funny, because just before we started dating, she really liked the truck. She thought it was hot.
I did. I liked the truck. But it was a gas hog. It was like 8 miles a gallon.
8.5. Coincidentally, we've come full circle. We're getting 7.5 now.
Right, in the RV. But it's our house.
Yes, it is
That's
our house
different.
as well.
But we did that. John had the Sebring, and we decided to trade that in and get this Expedition. So the Expedition was worth $7,000, but we rolled
like $4,000 more.
And it was $11,000 that we paid for that truck. Now, has it been a great truck? Yes, it's been a great truck.
After we fixed everything. It all broke down on the way home from the dealership.
Not the whole thing. That was just air conditioning.
Air conditioning it out. And then like a week later, the pinion seal's leaking. And then a week after that.
The security system went crazy in the rain. And the alarms would go on if it rained. But we did do we did some stupid things. And we really, really paid for it. I wish that part of what I will be doing with my girls for homeschooling is understanding financial systems. I think there's something wrong with just telling a child to have. It's okay to just use a cash system, but there's nothing wrong with understanding credit. There's nothing wrong with understanding it. You don't have to use it, but you need to understand it so that if you do have a time when you have to deal with other people in money matters, you don't get hosed. The bank lady actually looked at us and said, you don't want to do this. You're going to be upside down on this car. Yeah. And I didn't understand what she was saying. I honestly had no idea because my parents had never been in debt. I had never been in debt. I'd never had a credit card. I didn't understand what she meant by you're going to be upside down on this. And so we paid $4,000 more for a car than we should have.
Yeah. Good times. So, 25. So, okay. Yeah, so guys, there is the link for Mr. Dirt. There's not going to be anything up on it. I'm using it as the place to put our Patreon videos, which, okay, so let me explain here. For those of you who are on our Facebook group, for leg 2, we are not going to post the daily vlogs on Facebook, partly because of a security issue. But we will post our up-to-date and real-time ones as much as we can on the Patreon channel, if you guys wish to go there. And I will be posting a lot of those as free posts, so the world will be able to see them.
What are you talking about?
For Facebook, because when we
The
did
Facebook
leg
Live?
1, yeah, when we did leg 1, I did the Facebook Live. This
Okay.
time I'm just going to upload a video and put it through Patreon because of security, because we don't know who is necessarily on Facebook. So, guys, go check out our Patreon, and it would be over there as well. You don't even have to sign up as soon as we get on the road. So, let's see. How's traveling with animals? 2 dogs, 1 cat, 1 snake, 1 rat, 3 kids, and we want to RV, but my kids are attached to the animals, LOL.
We are not taking the animals because of how long we're going to be gone.
Right.
We wanted to, and I still think I would like to try to sometime. But we're so new to the RV thing, and our budget is so tight that we need to be more careful than to have the priority be the animals. So for now,
we're taking the dog.
We're taking the dog, and that's it, and she's done just fine.
Yeah. Let's see. Rebecca, I'm sorry that's been the case, I'll be honest. Oh, okay. Apparently there's another discussion going on. We have free wood here in Southern. Hey, cool. Let's see. Does anybody catch that? If anyone is there in Southern Washington, they got a lot of plywood and 2x.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, I think
Bye, hillbilly.
We're at about an hour and 20, so I think we should call it good.
It says an hour 6.
It
says an hour 6. So.
Yeah, we have.
What about your dog? Yeah, we are going to take. Well, yeah, Sharon. Apparently the latency's catching up to. Yep, there it is. She answered. We answered. Okay. Found Dave Ramsey before we ever had a chance to get into debt. Nice. That's a good time to be there. 20% down. That's awesome. Half of our savings. But now we do have debt. Yeah, the debt's the hard part.
Our dog is a little red toy poodle.
Who's asking?
Danny.
Okay, let's see.
How do you stay so pretty even though you're in an RV, Mrs. Dirt? Well, let me tell you that my skin has been freaking out, and being able to wash your face with wet wipes when you're somebody that wears makeup doesn't work. So I walk into the Walmart with my soap.
Uh-huh.
What?
I've done this. Go ahead.
I walk into the Walmart with my soap, and I scrub my face, and everybody looks at me really funny. But I need hot running water in order to get all the makeup off my face. Otherwise, I break out a lot, and my skin gets really unhappy. So that's how I do it. I go white trash, and I go wash my face in Walmart.
Mm-hmm. I was shaving in the campground bathroom. That was interesting. But, see, do you think an RV or trailer would be better? Humble Homemaker's asking.
What's the difference?
Do we pull it behind a pickup, or do we...
I would say pull it behind a pickup for sure, because then you can park your RV and you can take your more gas-efficient vehicle and go do the other ththings that you need to do.
More gas-efficient. The truck?
We love you too, Curtis.
Yeah. See, you said that we were going.
Huh?
We're not going. Let's see.
It is amazing, isn't it, Tawana? I'm glad you like it, Dolphin Man. Let's see. So... yeah, for sure. I love our little RV. It feels like home. I love it, love it, love it. But it does make it difficult for us to go get some of our videos that we'd like to get, because we have to actually drive the RV to it, or we have to rent a car. And the car costs about $50 a day to rent, and that doesn't include gas.
Mm-hmm. Do what you gotta do.
Yeah. So, we're going to go.
I said the same.
My little
She
social
will not go
butterfly.
without makeup, LOL.
No, I have gone without makeup. And part of the problem is that In some areas, there were a lot of pesticides and herbicides in the air, and my skin actually reacted more to not having like a barrier than in being able to just keep my face. It didn't. For some reason, my face started reacting because I went for a week without any makeup at all, right. To see how my face would handle it, and nah, it didn't work. Right. Too much junk in the air, and my skin got really cranky.
Rebecca's asking about using a crock to store water. Well, we have a 38-gallon fresh water tank on there. It's actually really good. Ashley Young asking about an RV tour. Did you get the camera out?
I've already made it.
Oh, good.
And I've taken it several times.
Right.
I have 400 videos since we started this trip that I have not edited yet.
Yeah. That's not hyperbole. That is literally 400 videos.
400 videos that I just took from my little hard drive and put on our big hard drive. And it just means that I'm having a hard time getting to them all very quickly.
Let's see, Humble Homemaker.
Because we're moving.
Sorry. Humble Homemaker, hard to find an RV with bunks. Yeah, we really lucked out on this one.
Except that Paige fell out on her neck the other night. And Kaya pees into her sister's lower bunk. With the kids, there's been difficulties.
You have to bring up all the negative, don't you?
It's so funny.
Well, yeah.
But, Paige fell on her neck, and that was really, really scary. So we had to resituate her and put her into the bunk the other way after we, went and got her checked out.
Now, in the middle of the night when she has to go to the bathroom, how's that going to work? So, let's see. Okay. Wife just has to do eyes and eyebrows. Oh. That'd be nice.
That's lovely. If my skin wasn't so sensitive.
She has to blanket it on for the camera. Sorry. Should I show you the putty knife, everybody?
Watch it.
You look good.
I'm going to use that putty knife on you. Okay, we are going to leave now. I love you guys, and we'll talk to you later.
I super appreciate it. And now I got to cue up the stop button. Almost. Okay, bye guys.